The XRP ledger was purpose-built to solve specific financial use cases with the DEX, issued assets, escrows, forthcoming loans. I think we'll be able to address the major financial use cases through native transactors.
DBS. Who is DBS? Well, that is the largest bank in Southeast Asia, and they're the third largest private bank in Asia. Officially part of the Singapore government, they have a double A1 credit rating. Their largest shareholder is Citibank.
Another fun fact in regards to, I was technically the second person ever involved with Ripple or XRP, whatever you want to call it. So the original idea for it came from Jed McCaleb, as most people probably know. But his idea was that, hey, Roger, I think Bitcoin mining is wasteful. It uses lots of electricity.
GDP, which is today at 84 trillion, is projected to double over the next 20 years, all thanks to technological innovation. We need to recognize the speed of change, the acceleration of advancement as an unprecedented pace because of the exponentiality of computer technology. With that as a background, I want to shift to specifically the exponential tech of blockchain technology and crypto.
They try to shake me out, but I was born ready. Dropping down the price, then I be getting plenty. They want all your bags and they want all them empty.
What's up, good glitches? Welcome back to some more Moon O'Clock News. No breakfast, no coffee, just straight extra. Bullishness. Shout out to the latest sub. Appreciate you stopping by, tuning in. Don't forget to drop an elbow from the top ropes on that likey button. Yeah, XRP currently right around $2.23. Things are accelerating exponentially. We got Watcher Guru to pop things off. Fun fact: less than 7% of the global population is invested in crypto, and less than 1% in XRP. Shout out to all the pink dots. We got Well Insider just in Southeast Asia's largest bank. DBS values Ripple at 11.3 billion. IPO expected in 2026. DBS Crypto Digest. Crypto Eddie. Ripple Mega Bank Partner DBS Bank July Report 2026 Ripple IPO. Check out Crypto Eddie on YouTube. Sento Sumasoba on X.
DBS. Who is DBS? Well, that is the largest bank in Southeast Asia, and they're the third largest private bank in Asia. Officially part of the Singapore government, they have a double A1 credit rating. Their largest shareholder is Citibank. And China, Hong Kong, India, Indonesia, Taiwan, and Malaysia, those customers fuel this bank's energy, and they are a major Ripple partner. On July 3rd, they put out a brand new crypto digest. It's called Crypto Heading to Wall Street. It was written by Wei Liang Chang, and he is an FX and credit strategist covering global and Asian markets. And Zheng Fenqi, he is currently a research analyst, works full-time. He's been with them for 2 years, and he is in the sector of consumer and crypto. And what did I find? Well, they seem awfully sure that Ripple Labs plans to IPO in 2026. And the current latest valuation of that company, according to their sources, is $11.3 billion.
Check out the full video on YouTube at Crypto Eddie. Subject views looks like they're rethinking the reserve currency and emphasizing its adaptable nature.
So let me end with 2 points which strike me as unfinished or emerging. First, at least for the large economies, it could be asked today, what's the point of official reserves? My view is that today their use is more to do with preserving financial stability in the event of stress. They may be needed to support financial system liquidity in situations of extreme stress. My second point is, we've had a number of discussions already over the weekend, and very valuable discussions over the weekend, is that we need to watch carefully the evolution of payment forms and whether innovation here introduces fragility into what I would call the money system, something that Hyun was talking about this morning very eloquently. So if, for instance, stablecoins emerge as a new form of money, we have to decide how to ensure the singleness of money and therefore trust in money in this world, and what role the notion of reserve currency should play here. So let me finish, Mario. I just want to thank you for such a stimulating lecture. You pushed me to think further about this meaning of this term reserve currency. I think it is an important subject. It's also a topical subject as well. My conclusion was that I think we need to think about it in the sense of its adaptable nature over time. and thereby be very clear about what it means in the world of today and what it might mean in the world of tomorrow. Thank you.
Blockchain Daily, watch Roger Ver explain how he was the second person to ever be involved with Ripple XRP after Jed McCaleb pitched the idea to him.
Another fun fact in regards to, I was technically the second person ever involved with Ripple or XRP, whatever you want to call it. So the original idea for it came from Jed McCaleb, as most people probably know. But his idea was that, hey, Roger, I think Bitcoin mining is wasteful. It uses lots of electricity, and we can accomplish the same thing with using less electricity. So I know, he said that he knows how to make a version of Bitcoin that doesn't require mining, and asked if I would pay for the David Schwartz, who now became the CTO. Said, hey, can you pay this guy's salary to help build it, and I'll guide it, and we'll work on it together. So I said, sure, let's give it a try. And I think that was way back in 2012. So technically, I was
that's incredible.
the second person ever involved in Ripple. As well.
That's incredible.
Again,
Wow.
I'm a fan of anything that works.
Crypto Insight UK, are you seeing what I'm seeing? XRP holders?
What kind of use cases do you hope we'll start seeing built?
The XRP ledger was purpose-built to solve specific financial use cases with the DEX, issued assets, escrows, forthcoming loans. I think we'll be able to address the major financial use cases through native transactors that implement the functionality that people need, like loans will be able to be done that way.
Crypto Eddie CEO Brad Garlinghouse during a Singapore press conference stated that stablecoin RUSD from Ripple can be used as collateral for all services at Hidden Road, emphasizing RUSD would be the first stablecoin enabling efficient, large-scale cross-margin trading between virtual assets and traditional financial markets, with its particular strength being 24/7 year-round. Availability, photo source, Korean media. Korea is still in the early stages with tokenization or the stablecoin, virtual asset linked to fiat currency business. But as a digital asset such as XRP are already hugely popular among Korean individual investors, if these businesses can get started, their growth rate would be tremendous. She continued, Ripple is closely monitoring Korea's digital asset regulatory environment, underlying there are great expectations, especially regarding the roadmap for institutional adoption. Banks, institutions, enterprises on their way to pump our bags up. Stellar org, stablecoins aren't the end goal, they are the building blocks of decentralized finance.
I think the really interesting thing we're seeing there is this basically taking this base layer of stablecoins, which we think about kind of like the checking account of this new finance, and building more financial instruments and making things like the savings account equivalent or the investment accounts equivalent. And so people with wallets that maybe are holding these wallets because a stablecoin gives them some hedge against inflation in their local currency. Now, rather than just keeping US dollars, they can also get access to RWAs. They can get access to yield from DeFi instruments. And so we're seeing a full stack of everyday financial instruments getting built with stablecoin as the base layer.
With that being said, we got a good one to close out along with a couple charts. Smoke Dog, why the growth of crypto, blockchain, XRP, and the XRP ledger technology will be exponential, 4 digits, 5 digits, can't be dirt cheap.
GDP, which is today at 84 trillion, is projected to double over the next 20 years, all thanks to technological innovation. We need to recognize the speed of change, the acceleration of advancement is an unprecedented pace because of the exponentiality of computer technology. With that as a background, I want to shift to specifically the exponential tech of blockchain technology and crypto. The Bank of England says this is going to transform the global financial system. 76% of TradFi is developing blockchain technology right now. Global spending in 2021 was $6 billion. Last year it was $19 billion. Gartner says that the global blockchain market, which is right now $176 billion, by the end of the decade will be $3 trillion. PwC says it's going to add nearly $2 trillion to GDP by the end of the decade. The technology lets businesses operate faster, cheaper, safer, with greater transparency and inclusion. JP Morgan says it's going to save banks $120 billion a year in processing costs. We have to recognize that all of this is all about the evolution of the internet. The original internet that was developed in the 1990s, we now refer to it as Internet 1.0, was all about connecting people. Right? You used email and texting, later Facebook and Twitter, where we used the internet to connect with each other. Then we had Internet 2.0, the Internet of Things, where your phone is talking to your car. We now are embarking today on Internet 3.0, the Internet of money. We are now moving money at the speed of the internet, which is an unprecedented phenomenon. And since the world runs around based on money, this is going to be massive. We're already using the internet as a payment platform for the movement of money, everything from credit and debit cards to all of the different services that most of these you are already using. The best illustration of this are cross-border transmittals. This is a nearly $200 trillion marketplace of moving money from one country to another, either person to person or business to business. And of that $195 trillion, about 3% of it, look at the bottom of the chart, is used by crypto. So of all the money that's being moved, most of it is going through the Fed, and most of it's going through SWIFT. It's going through bank wires, Western Union, but 3% of it is being done with Bitcoin or stablecoin or some other digital asset. It's projected that by the end of the decade, it is going to grow to $300 trillion, and crypto's share will be 20%. A 7x increase. 12% of global trade is cross-border transmittals. Think about migrant workers. They come here from South America, Central America, Africa, the Far East, for economic opportunity. Mama is still home in the old country. So what does the worker do? They send some of their paycheck back home to mom. Migrant workers send $1.2 trillion to over 800 million people every year. 60% of the average family's income comes from those cross-border transmittals. This is 3 times more than families receive from international aid. This is a huge number. Look at the amount of money that countries are receiving from cross-border transmittals. Over $100 billion goes into India. $60 billion flows into Mexico. Even China gets $50 billion. Some of these very small countries get a huge percentage of their annual GDP from money being sent into it from expats who have moved to other countries and are sending money back home. Crypto share is going to rise 7x by the end of the decade. Why? Because of unstable local currencies. If you live in Zimbabwe or Venezuela and you can't trust the value of the currency because of massive inflation where prices are doubling monthly, or a government that is corrupt and nationalizes banks, literally steals the money out of your bank account, you don't want to put money in a bank. The cost of transmittal, if you want to send money from New York to London, it typically takes 5 days and costs 6%. The cost is exorbitant. And people are becoming increasingly aware that there's an alternative. They can use crypto, which is faster, safer, and cheaper than doing it the old way. Just look at sending a wire cross-border. 5 days, 6% using the SWIFT system, which only operates during banking hours. With Solana, you can send that money in less than 1 second for a tiny fraction of a penny, and you can do this 24/7, no bank required. You don't even need a smartphone, an ordinary cell phone. There's 1 billion people in the world who are unbanked according to the United Nations. They don't live anywhere near a bank, or they don't have enough money to afford being able to open a bank account because of either the minimum deposit required or the fees the banks charge. We're even talking about 7% of US households who are underbanked or unbanked. Payments technology of crypto allows this to occur faster, easier, safer, can't be manipulated by governments, extremely divisible, because the dollar only goes to 2 decimal points. With Bitcoin, it goes down to 9 decimal points. This is why there's 500 million people around the world who own crypto. We've got to change our thinking. Everybody keeps looking at Bitcoin saying, what do we need this for? Why do I need digital assets? Our banking system works fine. We all love to hate banks, but let's face it, it works just fine. Yeah, that's true here in the US, but it isn't true in the rest of the world. That's why the rest of the world is really interested in this technology. And for all of that, people are only a small, tiny piece of those remittances. It's governments and corporations that are sending most of the money. If you have heard of Kinesics, you know who Kinesics is operated by? JP Morgan. This is JP Morgan's private blockchain. They've got their own private blockchain. They've had it for 4 years. They do $2 billion in cross-border transmittals for their institutional clients per day. They've transmitted over $1.5 trillion so far on their own private blockchain. We've got over $5 billion tokenized of treasuries through public blockchains. That's a 10x increase in just 1 year. BlackRock and Franklin Templeton. Money market fund that is an app. It's not an account through your brokerage account. Higher yield, lower fees, instant 24/7 transactions. We already have 65 million Americans who own this. 28% of US adults own Bitcoin. PayPal lets everybody on its platform buy and sell goods using crypto. Walmart's got Bitcoin ATMs in all of its stores. Fidelity and Schwab both accept Bitcoin as charitable donations to their donor-advised funds. Last year, they collected over $400 million in Bitcoin donations. You think your clients, wealthy clients, aren't investing in Bitcoin? Well, who's donating the $400 million? You can now make political contributions to your favorite candidate in Bitcoin. You can pay your taxes in an increasing number of states in Bitcoin. You can pay for college tuition in an increasing number of colleges in Bitcoin. People say to me, well, what are the use cases? There aren't any. Really? Here's a sample of the B2B. Here's the B2C, the C2B, and the C2C. There's a huge number of technologies and use cases for this asset class.
Are you waiting on the sidelines or loading up on the greatest opportunity of multiple lifetimes? XRP built to move. All the money, all the value built for the internet of value, built for the internet. 3.0, know what you hold, know what's coming, and know why. They want you out. Mustache. Bitcoin has finally happened. With the last monthly close, RSI on the BTC chart has re-entered the overbought territory. Every time this happened in the last 12 years, we've seen a strong rally for Bitcoin and altcoins. You're not bullish enough. Grad Crypto XRP, do you comprehend the macro formation has broken out and a potential macro retest is still on the table? The measured target is bellissimo. Bellissimo in Italian means very beautiful or gorgeous. XRP, all the money, all the value, 3 digits, 4 digits, 5 digits. Can't be dirt cheap. Credible crypto aside from being the only coins in the entire market with the clearest and cleanest impulsive PA aside from BTC starting at its launch off at around 50 cents. XRP is currently going on its 8th month of consolidation above the prior all-time high monthly close. You're not bullish enough. The bigger the base, The higher in space is the 2017 cycle repeating. Will we see a $100 XRP this cycle? The longer they take, the higher we keep climbing on that XRP rich list. Top 10% holder, 2,486 XRP. Top 1% holder, 50,631 XRP. And top 0.1% holders, 369,000 XRP. Where will those bags be when that regulation jar of molasses finally breaks open and XRP's true price is finally revealed? We'll catch you up here on the mothership. I am the XRP Bagman, the Moon Commander, BYOB. Bring your own bags, be your own bank, be your own boss. Don't forget to drop an elbow from the top ropes on that likey button. We'll see you at the tippy top. Later, glitches.
Later, glitches.
Welcome to the party. This a moon party. Hey, this a moon party. Hey, welcome to the party. Welcome to the party. This a moon party. This a moon party. Welcome to the party, we don't play round here. Moon suit on or you get sprayed round here. Watch where you walk and you